Welcome back to NVTV Basement Sessions. A little bit different today. We have a videographer and director in, Anthony with Atmost Visuals. Go ahead and give yourself a little introduction.
What's going on, guys? This is Anthony with Atmost Visuals. I'm the owner and director of Creative Gen Studios over in Willoughby, Ohio, 20 minutes out on the east side of Cleveland. And glad to be here, man. I appreciate it.
I'm pumped to have you on, for real.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I've seen you're doing your thing. I seen you cop the new camera recently, so I'm super excited.
I wonder where I got that from.
Yeah, man. No, it's been awesome. Working in the industry and the experience, and seeing people come from nothing,
right.
How far they've grown, how far I've grown. It's a lot. It's crazy. It's crazy to sit here and think. I was filming a parkour video in Willoughby about 10 years ago, 12 years ago almost, and now I got a film studio there.
Right.
It's insane.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember when you first started, for real. Special shout out. I mean, you were one of the people who kind of got me into this. I mean, we didn't directly talk about it, but seeing you do it, I was there when you got your first drone. So that was awesome. Got to see you fly that.
Man, we wrecked it straight into the wall in the living room. That was a great time. Yeah, don't fly your drones in the living room, especially the big ones. Yeah, not a good idea.
Yeah, I remember when I first got my Parrot, I forgot to tighten them down, the propellers. I went to take off inside, and the props just shot up and hit the ceiling. Oh my god, it was the funniest thing ever.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Yes. Yeah, we were. I was like, oh, this thing's got sensors. It'll detect the walls. This is awesome.
Right, we're good.
And I was like, okay, I got the hang of it. Hard gas left, and it just right into the wall. Broke the props. Props were on back order because we were the first people in Ohio to have a Inspire 1.
Right.
The first people. We pre-ordered it, so the props were not even available to get. So I couldn't fly the drone for a month.
Oh my god.
Month and a half. Yeah, I was sick.
So what got you into the game? Music videos, directing?
So I started in high school. I went to a vocational school, and we had a film program there. So I did it mainly because it was the easy A. We had 8 periods, so that's 8 classes minus the study hall, so 7 classes. And then 3 of those classes a day were my media class. And that was my junior and senior year of high school. So all the football players, me being a football player, me being the wrestlers, my track coach and my football coach was the teacher. So I had already seen it, and it sounded like an easy A. And then I picked up, I'd always been a YouTube head. So ever since I was young, I'd always just be on YouTube watching videos. That's what I did.
Yeah.
So when I signed up for the class, I was like, wow, this is actually really cool, and I picked up a camera, and it was, I can't even tell you the feeling I had. It was just awesome. So the first 2 videos I ever shot were Hardcore Parkour. It was a documentary about one of my best friends growing up, Michael Bohanic. He's a parkour legend. He really is. He's been doing parkour since he was doing backflips off my porch, my back porch. That's and stuff awesome. When he was in middle school. I did a documentary on him in Willoughby, just why does he do parkour, stuff like that. It actually won 2 awards. It won a Scholastic's Key Award Gold. It took 3rd place in Business BPA, which is Business Productions of America competition, and that was it really was wow. And then the second video was my girlfriend was in college, so she took a dance class, so I asked her if she could ask the dance instructor if I could do a documentary on the class. Right. So I did a documentary on the class, and I actually won that year Scholastic's Gold Key Awards.
Oh wow!
So I won 2 gold keys that year, and ever since then it was just okay, maybe I, know what I'm doing.
Right.
Maybe I know what I like to do, and it was cool because I like everything: skydiving, plants, cars, guns, anything in the world. I really have an interest for everything. There's nothing that I don't particularly like besides, spiders, probably.
Right.
But I love animals too. So like I do a lot of photography too. So as more of a hobby than a profession. And so I just was like, wow, this may be it. And I graduated. I went to Kent State University, and actually started huge in the rap scene. Like I think it was my second year here. I started shooting with OH10 Records, and we started knocking out some cool videos. We were going on tour. We were traveling Atlanta, Georgia, North Carolina, California. I mean, we were all over the place. And I was like, wow, this is really what I want to do.
Right.
Like, this is awesome. This is exactly what I want to do. This is a dream come true. And so I dropped out of school. And after I dropped out of school, it was kind of like, all right, well, I need to take this seriously.
Right.
So doing my research every day, studying, YouTube, stuff like that. I always thought the next level would be a film studio. So, and I mean, we can talk more about that in a little bit. But yeah, that's how I got started. That's, I've always been, I always reference this video whenever I talk to anybody, like, UNK two-step remix with Lil Wayne. That video is just imprinted in my head. Also, Young Jock's music videos were just imprinted in my head because they were high-budget value videos. And, like, they were just so unobtainable unless you had budgets and money.
Right.
Like, that's what established it. So that's what I wanted to make. I didn't want to make run-and-gun videos.
Right.
But I had to start somewhere. So, and everybody's got to start somewhere.
Most definitely. I know you've worked with a lot of bigger artists and names, if you want to, because I remember, the main one I remember is you going on tour with Future and Doughboy, and I'm like, what? Like, that's insane.
Man, yeah. So, Future and Doughboy, and Meek Mills, I was on that tour. We went to New York twice, here, and then I actually had to hop off tour for a little bit, just, handle some family things, not even issues, just take care of my family, you know what I mean? I don't have kids or anything, but it was an amazing opportunity. Like, they treated me, as one of their own, and I was backstage, we were playing basketball, waiting for this concert to start. Shout out Mike, shout out MJ, like, managers of Doughboy, like, they take care of me. Shout out Sincere for giving me the plug on them. They do their job, and they do it very well, and they respect me for doing my job, and it was a blessing for real. But that came way later. So, like, started out OH10, so like Bebe Savo, Will the General, Shakur, Free My Guy Shakur, J Juice. Those were the artists I was really working with for a long time, for a couple years, that until I started breaking ground. I was one of the main event photographers and videographers for MGK's Hotel Diablo, and for his concert for EST Fest. Yeah, when he did it down in Columbus in 2019, right before COVID. That show was amazing. Like, that album is amazing. It changed my life. Like, I met him. Like, that was kind of the start of it, the big moment of, I used to go to festivals. I used to, I love concerts.
Right.
So for me to be able to shoot that and make a recap video for it, and like, it was me, like, that's awesome.
Right.
Like, I worked.
Yes, that's definitely awesome.
Yeah, I worked my A off.
Right.
I worked every day, no sleep. We were staying at a cabin that they put us up in. It was like, get back at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, sleep for 2 hours, got to get up and film the sunset, or
Right.
the sunrise. And we put in a lot of work flying the drone. Like, it was all me and the team that had me there.
Right.
They supported me there. But haven't shot a Doughboy video yet. Looking forward to it. Got some of that in the works. YSM Flow is another one. YSM Flow is I've been blessed to work with that man. The kid is a goat, for real. He's young, ambitious. His music is amazing. I listened to him before I even met him. Before I even knew who he was. I didn't even know he was from Ohio when I first heard a couple songs.
I didn't even know he was from Ohio.
Yeah, he's from Ohio. So, it was awesome. Like I've had him in my studio a couple times. He respects the studio. Shout me out whenever I'm on IG. Like, you know, the dude respect, like, love, you know, he fucks with me, so he shows respect, and I appreciate that. So and who else? I've done photography for Gucci Mane, Icewear Vezo. I just did a recap video for G Herbo a little bit ago when he was in town. Who else? Trying to run through the list. Oh, one of the big ones too. Shout out to OH10 again. Thank you for the plug. But you know, shout out to NLE Choppin' music video, with the feature with J Juice. Fire song, banger video. You know, funny story is we only had a half hour to shoot that video.
I remember you telling me, like,
Man.
I knew NLE before he even had neck tats or anything, and then you showed me all the pictures and stuff of you guys in the booth with him, no tattoos.
No
He
tattoos.
Just super young looking. I'm like, holy shit. Like, you
Yeah.
definitely seen him way back when.
Yes. I still got the picture on my IG with me standing next to him, and it was crazy because him and Jude, you know, we just got done with the show, did the show recap. The show went crazy. Shout out OH10 again for putting that on. It was an amazing show. And J Juice did his thing, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, J Juice killed it. And so we went back to the studio, and, you know, J Juice and NLE were kicking it, so they decided to make a song. That's how we ended up at the studio. And next thing you know, like, we're being told, like, hey, we gotta shoot this video. And I was like, for what? Like, what video? What's the song? He's like, the song, you haven't been hearing that song in there? And I was like, oh, this one? He's like, yeah. He's like, it's done. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. So we started setting up, and then NLE Choppa's mom comes in and is like, yo, you got a half hour to leave, or half hour before the bus leaves, NLE. Right. And we were like, oh,
let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
So I'm running, setting up lights. Cody's grabbing the camera. Shout out Cody Makes Videos, my guy, killing it in Vegas. We can talk about you in a minute.
Yeah, I got mad respect for Cody too. He
yeah,
definitely is a killer.
I mean, Cody and me grew up together. We'll talk about that in a second. So yeah. So, you know, setting up the lights, trying to figure out what we wanted to do, shooting on the Sprinter, you know, everything, knocked it out. Cody killed the edit, and that was that. You know, it was a good time. Yeah, man. I mean, Cody though.
Legend.
Yeah, Cody's a legend, man. I mean, that's a kid that I worked with side by side since high school. Right. He was a grade above me.
Yeah,
went through the same program.
Once, way back when. I can't remember exactly what we were doing. It was just something short. Just kind of like a, hey, what's up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thing. I mean, I brought him out. So he went to Kent State as well. We ended up being roommates, and like I said, he taught me a lot of stuff that, you know, I needed to learn, you know,
right.
Like, not even need, but like, he taught me a lot of stuff that, like, we were partners in crime, you know what I mean? Like, he figured out something cool, he would text me and send me screenshots and like, dude, did you see this yet? Or like, this just came out in the new music video, like, this is crazy. And I would do the same thing, like, we were just feeding each other, like, consistent. It's always nice to have somebody, you know, or have a team of people that sit there and, like, they like the same thing that you like, you know.
Most definitely.
You know, we've been on tour together. We've been, you know, traveling everywhere. We've been at hella states together. And
I was gonna say not maybe most, but a lot of the content that you've shot was with Cody.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes. A lot of the content before the past couple of years have been with Cody. Cody ended up taking a fire job working for. He's the director of the video department over. So yeah, Cody is the director of the video department over in Vegas, and he works for John Santos. Shout out John Santos. Like, if you guys don't know how to create a clothing company, want to know how to create a clothing company, or in the middle of creating a clothing company, go check him out. John Santos on YouTube. He's fire, and I mean, he'll get you set up ready to go just off the YouTube videos. That's what he does, and I mean, the guy's goat.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so Cody, you know, me and Cody talk, you know, every so often now. I ask him, you know, he keeps asking me how cold it is here.
Right.
I keep asking him
bastard.
I keep asking him, you know, how's the basements there?
Right.
And,
can't have them.
Yeah, can't have them. Yeah. So
that's funny.
But yeah, man. I mean, I miss my guy. I'm just really glad to see him doing something he likes to do and being as involved. I mean, I've heard he actually. I haven't talked to him in a week because I just got back from Miami and been kind of busy. But he was telling me I don't know a month ago that he was getting ready for a trip to. Saudi Arabia or
Oh, shit.
um
Somewhere out of the U.S.
oh no, yeah, he's flying out of country. He's gonna be doing it's not Dubai, but he's gonna be doing a lot of work out like for a month out of country, which is amazing.
Right, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, so I mean, as a video guy, like how could you not
Right.
enjoy getting paid to not be in your hometown
Right now, most
and
definitely.
film cool things? I mean, that's what this life's
Right.
about. You feel me?
Right.
So, mad respect again to Cody, and if he is traveling or when he gets back or when he watches this video, I hope it was a good time, and I hope you're safe and don't like get bitten by or eaten by like a giant camel spider or something like that.
Shit.
Yeah,
Right.
we need
Yeah.
you. We need you.
Definitely. Seeing as you do so much work, and I know this because I help you sometimes, what's your motivation? Like, what keeps you going? I know there's been a couple times where you were down and out, and I had to tell you, like, bro, shut your face. Like, go sleep it off. Like, we'll film when you wake up, or, like, just sleep it off. Like, I know we've both told each other that numerous times. Like,
Facts. I remember those conversations, those 3 o'clock in the mornings.
Right.
What keeps me going is people like my work and like I like my work and I'm an artist and like there's ups and downs in being an artist, like from a painter to like being a starving artist is hard, and like I'm not gonna say I'm starving, but just not being able to paint the pictures you want to paint because this isn't like, oh, I gotta go buy a piece of canvas and some paint. This is I gotta spend all this money on this gear. And then not only that, but artists have to come with budgets. Right. So like for me to do cool things, they have to want to pay for it, just like in any other business. Like if you want a car, you can go get a car. But if you want a cool car, like if you want a souped up Subaru, you can go buy the Subaru and then you got to put money into it. So like Ohio is not a music industry city. Or state in general. We have it here, like we're underground, but we are not a known music city. We are not Atlanta. Right. We are not California. We are not, New York, like that. Michigan. We're not Detroit. Like Detroit just caught their wave. So it's just there's people out here that have budgets and want to work. Is it every day? No. So I will always not wanted to be that person that settles and goes out and does the cheap stuff to make a bag. I'm not that person. I'm the person that wants to create a story and, paint my vision. That's what I'm here for, and work with artists and paint the vision together. That's what it is. So, but, keeping me motivated, like it's cool. I don't even want to say it's cool. Like it's my life. Like it's passion. Like I get to network with people. I get to meet people. I get to learn about cool things. I get to learn about new things all the time. I'm surrounded by like-minded people, artistic people, nerds. Camera guys, computer nerds. Like that's I nerd out. So I definitely like to nerd out. It's just, and traveling, to be honest with you, that's what keeps me motivated the most. Is like one of my main reasons why I got into the business is because I want to travel, and traveling every time I go out, like I see a whole new part of the world, and it opens up my mind and my ideas to a whole new side of things, and it's something that I would have to do by myself on my own or with a small group of friends. Just going out and having a good time, it's different because I get to move how blessed I am with the people I get to move with. They put me in good positions. They put me in good places, in new places, in higher up places, with some right people. And I wouldn't get that without the business. And I like that. I'm a networker. I like meeting people. I like knowing people. I don't want to be the famous person that can walk into the club and everybody's paparazzi's there and taking pictures. But I want to be able to walk up to the club and the bouncer knows me, so he's going to let me in.
Right.
And then they're going to drag me to my section with my group of friends, and the owner's going to come down and say hi.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm in it for. You know, that's what I like about it. It's what I love about it.
How many states do you think you've been to work-wise? I know you just got back from Miami, and I know you've been to LA a few times.
I've been to LA. I've been to Miami, Atlanta, North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm going to Texas at the end of the month.
You sent me to Pennsylvania for my
I sent you to
second
PA.
wedding.
I've been to PA working with Frizzy a couple times. Shout out my boy Frizzy. Haven't seen you in a minute. Looking to catch up soon. Been to Detroit and New York, and any place like that, or that's about it. But I mean, it's what.
Right, but that's for work.
That's for work.
Not not count your vacations, because I know you be going on vacations.
Yeah, you gotta take that mental day, that
Most
mental
definitely.
week, that mental week for sure.
Yeah, we're going to Disney in October, so.
Yes, we actually just when we were in Miami, we drove up to Orlando to shoot a music video, and then we had to drive back a good 3 hours, 3.5 hour drive. But we knock it out though.
I was telling a couple artists I want to shoot one or two while I'm down there, but I'm like, hey, I'll be down there with my stuff, so like, if you guys want to run a music video while I'm down there, we can do a couple.
Right.
So.
That's a good idea. No, I mean, and that's the cool thing too is like, man, going down there is just being somewhere different and working. It's a whole vibe.
Right.
It's a whole different vibe. Different people. People are talking different slang. Like, it's cool to learn. It's cool to be around.
So how has having a film studio changed, like, your business in a sense? I know you get to do a lot more, but do you feel like you get more clients now, or?
I definitely feel like having the studio has brought a wider selection of people to my studio, to my door pretty much. It does help. It does. It helps because I'm not just offering my services, which a lot of people. We'll speak on the music industry just for this. It helps because we're creating an environment that is controlled, and we're able to build things that you wouldn't find at somebody's house.
Right.
So, and be able to offer that. We also are in Ohio. So 3/4 of the year, it's snowing.
Or cold.
It's cold. Super cold. I mean,
raining.
it was 40 degrees today, and we're in May.
Right.
Yeah, like it's nuts. So being able to offer that, like, it has expanded. It hasn't been done in Ohio. So like, that was the other thing. There's studios in Ohio, but they are green screen, white wall, black wall studios. We are a film production set building studio. We build sets.
Right.
We build creative ideas and make them come to life. We have warehouse space to offer for you to pull in your cars, for you to have 50 people on a set, and light everything. That's
Right.
the cool part, and we can play music loud as we want. Nobody bothers us. Cops aren't coming back there. There's no firearms or anything like that allowed on the studio property, but it's a safe place. That's another thing. I'm in Willoughby, Ohio. We're right on the east side of Cleveland, but we're just out far enough to where the cops are horrible. Like, they're really bad out there, but I mean, in a good way. And I can offer a safe place for every artist to come in and work.
Which is huge for a lot of artists.
Yeah. I mean, I just got off the phone.
Can't advertise their every move type people.
Yes, and we don't advertise. We work with the artists. We don't advertise that they're there until they're gone.
Right.
We're not. We pay attention to the industry, and I have people on the team that pay attention to the industry. Right. Shout out my boy Compton, man. Great manager, great business partner, great person that he keeps me in the loop, and he keeps me level headed as well. And he put on for me a lot. Like it's crazy. That's my guy. It's my guy, Comp. So, yeah, man. You see it. What do you think?
I've watched you grow from a nothing into something, that's for sure.
I mean, what I always
Not that you were a nothing, but I mean, you get.
Everybody starts at nothing. I was definitely a nothing, But I know you've seen me from when, like we're talking 10 years ago, brother.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's my dream was always. You've heard me ramble on forever, bro. I need a studio.
Right.
I'm gonna get a studio. Like I need a studio, and I didn't just go get the first garage. I didn't.
Was that the video you guys shot that one Bebe video in with the bay door at the beginning where you guys had like Bebe as the hostage or whatever?
No, that wasn't.
Okay,
so
for the longest time I just thought it was the same.
No, so funny story. We were looking. I kept talking about getting a studio. My dad, shout out my pops. He had showed me, given me a contact for a warehouse, and go look at it. This warehouse was huge, like twice. 3 times my size.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, it was big. And I went and seen it, and it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. There was a lot of posts, center holdups and stuff like that, to floor to ceiling. So it wasn't as open floor that I wanted.
Right.
So a couple weeks later, I get this call from Bebe and OH10, and they're like, yeah, like we need this video. And I was like, okay, love the idea, love the song, wrote the idea, and was like, man, we really need a warehouse to sell this. Man, I wish I had a warehouse. I ended up calling the guy. I was like, hey man, can I can I shoot something in there before it gets sold? Because I called him back and he said it's actually sold. And I was like, okay. He said, yeah, I don't care though. Like, what are you guys doing? Told him what we were doing. He's like, yeah, cool, I'll stop up. I'm interested to see it. We had Bebe bagged over his head, right. Blood on the floor, and he's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, music video acting and stuff like that. And he's like, I thought you were punching him when you really... I was like, yeah, no. So...
Right, he probably walks in like, hold on.
Yeah. Like, that's you guys, funny. This is not what we were talking about on the phone.
I thought you said music video. Not beating somebody up.
Yeah, who did you kidnap?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but that, and that was one of my first myself-directed and written videos. And after I seen how that came out, which I don't like it, by the way, but after I seen how it came out, I seen the first progression, that first step from run and gun videos to that.
Right.
And I was like, okay, this is where I want to go.
You think that was like your first
Yeah, for sure.
Non-run.
Yeah, that was video. A non-run and gun. We spent 8 hours there on the shoot. It was long. People were tired, grumpy. But when it got finished, I remember when it got finished, I sent it to Bebe. He was like, wow, this is different. This is awesome. Everybody in the video was like, wow, this is awesome.
Right.
This is different.
Where'd you guys get the mansion?
So I'm not gonna share that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little.
I was gonna say I remember the over the balcony shot.
Yeah, beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot.
Yes.
That's imprinted I'll never forget that shot. That's like literally one of my favorite looking shots you've ever put out.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a little sauce secret I can't share.
That's all right. I'm trying.
I'll tell you anyways, but they
right. Yeah. Can't let you guys in on all the secrets.
Yeah, it's in house.
I can't think of anything else offhand to talk about. I'm sure you can think of something. We didn't have any preset questions. We've just been rattling it off. We got about 25 minutes until Skylar gets home, so I'm sure we can think of something more. Give shout outs to anybody. I know you've given a couple already, but...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anybody else. Shout out my boy Carter Flicks. We were down in Miami, kicking it, having a good time. Nick Spilarczyk, shout out my boy Nick.
Nick's
that
awesome.
Guy is the GOAT, y'all. GOAT. I'm
Color
trying to tell you. Nick
century.
Spilarczyk. If you can't spell it, Google it, because you'll figure it out.
Probably only got to type in Nick SPL, and he's probably on there.
Yeah, SPOL.
Oh, SPOL.
Yeah, but that dude is a freaking GOAT. He's taught me so much over the past 2 years.
You guys are like peanut butter and jelly together. When I was
Man,
there that night,
people keep
filming
saying that.
that lieutenant's video or what, I forget her name.
Oh,
I was just watching you guys work together, and it was just like, this is like you and Cody basically all over again.
yeah. And we understand each other. It's super smooth. Usually we're on the same page. We know what each other's thinking, or like come up with some of the similar ideas, and like something that the other person's doing. And dude, we just motivate each other, man. Like for real, it's all positive vibes. No BS. I don't care if I hold the camera. He doesn't care if he holds the camera.
Right.
We actually try to force it on each other sometimes because our
Right.
backs hurt. Right. So, and the dude is just a freaking awesome creative dude. He's a genius. He does his research. He does his work. And he just wants to grow. And that's
what you need to keep in your circle.
Yeah. You feel me? So,
I think offhand, I think you're really the only creative friend that I have that does this kind of stuff that I'm actually close with and that like I talk about stuff with.
I mean, that's how I was with Cody, and then it became Flicks, and then Nick, and then a couple other camera guys, and like, isn't that crazy?
Right.
Like it's about reaching out and just, don't get me wrong, there are some people out there, some video guys out there that are, I'm not sharing my sauce, or
Right.
I'm not doing this and that or whatever, but it's like, I don't want to kick it with you then. Like,
Right.
This is, like,
Facts.
dude, to do big budgets, you need a team. Don't care.
No,
I don't
for
care.
sure.
You're not going to do it by yourself.
And if you do, you're going to run and gun it, and it's going to look like shit. You're going to waste
you're
all
gonna
that
look like
money.
shit. So, I mean, that's that. So, I'm not, because I can go all day about budgets.
Right.
I
I still have yet to actually shoot like a budgeted video yet.
well, I mean, I'll tell
Well,
you.
I know. I guess technically I shot that Wheels AC video,
You shot Wheels.
but that was on my old camera, so I feel like it.
Yeah, but you
It's
shot
alright.
it, man.
We're in there now. We got the new camera. It's
Yes.
looking way better.
And you just told me that you got somebody reaching out about to come to the studio. So, I mean, yeah, let's talk about budgets for a second. Like, people don't. What is a budget? A budget is the whole cost of the video. So, not what the cameraman's getting paid, not what the director's getting paid, not what the grip's getting paid. And I can go through and give you a list of lighting and makeup and actors, all that stuff. It's all combined. So when I ask you what your budget is, we're talking about, when we ask you what your budget is, we're talking about what do you want to put in the whole cost of the video. And we're asking that not because we want to pickpocket you and be like, okay, well, you want to spend $2,000, so we want $1,000.
Right.
Like, you want $1,000 to shoot, and I want $1,000.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no. I'm looking at, do we got to get you a car? How many actors do we got to get? We're not inviting your friends for models. Like, they're cool, but they don't get the job done. They're there to work. They're not there to be cool and whatever. It doesn't work like that. So, locations. So my studio costs $100 an hour to rent. Just to rent, not even to shoot it, or just to shoot it. Not the camera guys or anything else. Lights cost money. Like, and I'm not saying they cost us money. I'm saying, like, they cost money to rent them. Like, my lights or his lights may not work. You guys want a moon or a spotlight? Well, I have a spotlight, but it may not be bright enough. So we got to rent that. And that's probably $400. Do you want a creative music video, or do you want a run and gun? We can do the run and guns all day long, right? We'll do them all day long. But do you want a cool creative video? And we're not talking about edits and match edits and...
putting 6,000.
Yeah, 6,000 cuts and
over
effects. No, we're talking about real shot music videos. The stuff you see, Little Baby, Yachty, all them. They do run and guns. They do. But that's the fillers in between the big videos, big budget videos. These people are working. That's their job. So you're seeing all these run and guns, but then they got a big video. And then there's run and guns, and then there's a big video. Like, that's how it should be.
Right.
And if you're an artist, pay attention to that. Because that's how it should be. Like, you should be pushing your content nonstop, but it shouldn't all be running guns. And it shouldn't be once a year you do a big budget video.
Right.
It should be a consistent pattern.
I even try to get people to do the one takes.
One
Just a walk through a city, down a thing, and just have natural people walking past. It's just one shot, no cuts, no edits, just maybe a couple little edits.
One of my favorite OG videos I shot on that camera was a one take. Downtown, Cleveland. I'm not going to reveal the spot because I got to redo it. But, you and me can go and do it. And so I'm saying, man, like, there's plenty of stuff to do. Like, artists have to wake up and realize, like, this game is, like, go look on Instagram, go look on Twitter. Like, people post it all the time. MCs and A&Rs. To release one song, a single, and push it marketing-wise, includes a music video with it, it's $300,000. $300,000. Stop doing $200 running guns.
Right.
Or if you're a fresh artist, do a couple, then move up to the 4 and the 6.
I've even tried to offer people, like, hey, look, I know you don't want to pay 1,000, but, like, give me 200 a month for a couple months, 5 months, then I'll have the 1,000. Then we have a budget. Like, I get you don't want to pay it up front, like, make payments on it or something, but, like, a lot of people just don't want to do it. I feel like you said, people think, like, we're like, oh, you got a $2,000 budget, well, now I want $1,000. It's like, no, I'm still going to take my $250 to $300, which is what I'm going to make on your run and gun anyways, so, like...
Yes. As a camera operator, I make $450. As a lighting guy, I make $350. As an editor, I make $450. So, if you do the math, $450 for editing, $450 for shooting, I'm bringing my lights, so that's $350. So that's $1,500, about, give or take, you know? So, we could go that route. Or, if you got a creative idea and you got a $2,000 budget, I'm probably just going to hold the camera, or I'm just going to direct for $3. I'm going to hire you for $3, and I'm going to hire a lighting guy for $3, and then we're going to write out a full script, and we're going to get a car. I got a music video coming up. I got a wrecked car that we're going to wreck into a telephone pole, and the guy's going to climb out of. I got to pay the tow truck guy to tow the wrecked car there. I got to pay him to sit there for 3 hours.
Right, and to put the car up
and to
against
put the
the
car
pole.
there. Yeah, I got to pay him for that. That's not free. I'm not taking that money out of it, and I'm not paying for it.
On a side note, so you don't forget, you should get some black smoke sticks for those.
You already know. This is why I'm bringing you on set. So, yeah, man, it's like, this shit costs money at the end of the day.
A lot.
It costs me a lot of money for my gear, and I'm not even trying to sell you on the point of that I'm using my gear to do it.
Right.
It costs money for everything else that I have nothing to do with, except for, you tell me you want a wreck car in your music video, I'll make it happen. You want a tank? I'll get you a tank.
Right.
But it costs money.
Might not be moving, but we'll get you a tank.
It might move.
Or,
you want it moving?
it
Pay
might
for
move.
it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you want it to shoot? We'll figure it out. I'll hire a VFX guy. You want helicopters flying in the air? We got to pay him for it. Not, guess what? That VFX guy, he doesn't shoot videos.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, he costs $1,000. Well, I'll just go to him for his music video. No, he doesn't shoot music videos.
Right.
So you got to have somebody that knows how to shoot for that.
Or
to,
you're getting fully animated.
Yeah,
And
but
that's going to cost you.
That's a lot more than $1,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that's my whole point, and that's what we're going to change in Ohio. And we're going to change that, and I hope all these videographers share this. Please drop a comment. You know, I'm going to send this out. Shout out Marco. Shout out Pull Up Visuals. Shout out all these guys. Let's see. Nocap. Me. One Way. Flower Mouth Films, 30M Productions, Rude Photography. Who else? One other guy, Flicks by Carter.
Henny Honky's pretty hard.
Henny Honky, shout out Henny. Super Fire. Shout out everybody out here, man. Let's start teaching these people.
Right. I was just talking about that in my last interview. I was shouting, I'm like, I got nothing against any of these people. Like, people saw me as the guy trying to take their work, so everybody took me, like, so negatively at first, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to make my dreams come true. Like, I'm not trying to take your work. I'm sorry people are coming to me, like...
Yeah, no, this isn't a, oh, you're pulling money out of my pockets, da-da-da. If you're relying on this to pay your bills, and you're not established, you probably shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
You work a full-time job and do this on the side. You know what I mean? I know a couple other videographers that do that. Shout out my boy Cinematics. Killing it for years. working a full-time and a half job, pretty much, and shooting. Guess what? He's known all over the city. He's known all over Ohio and out of Ohio. And he does fire work. But, you know, I think recently, the past like couple years, he finally went and switched over to full-time. But he built that, you know. But he also works with a lot of other videographers.
Right.
He never turned anybody down. He was never mean. He was never disrespectful. Dude, it costs money. And I'm not going to sit here and pull people's arm and a leg for $300 music videos. I'm not trying to fight down here. You know, I'm not trying to fight down here. I'm trying to be up there with the big dogs to kick it and hang out. And guess what? Big dogs spend money. Guess what? They buy each other stuff. You know,
Right.
I want to come in and be like, hey, Ant, I just got you new Pro Blends. You're like, what? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And have a good time with it, man. Well, let's go shoot some shit.
Right.
Not the other way around.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people like Henny and, you know, 30M and everybody else. Like 30M and me just did a collab video. Henny's been in the studio a couple times. Obviously working with you. I worked with Flicks a lot. Nick pays me every shoot I'm on. Never has a problem. You know, he just took me to Miami, and the whole trip was paid for, from budgets and stuff like that. You know, but that wasn't no cheap trip, and I worked my ass off. But that's what this is, man. How much you want to work, and not I'm about to pump out all this shitty work.
Right.
No. How serious do you take your job? How much do you know about this industry? How much are you willing to put in?
Right.
That's the difference. You know, this is a lot of behind the scenes.
Right.
How many hours do you study? You know, how much do you stay up on the new trends? Or are you doing effects from 2016, 2018? Oh, that video, me and Nick talk about it all the time. Oh, that video effect or that video was cool in 2018.
Right.
You know, but it won't pass now. And what we're saying is that won't pass now in the industry. We're not talking about the lower tier people that, you know, grind this out just for money. And I'm not saying everybody does. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but this is a artsy career. Like, you want to be good. You want to be up there. You don't want to sit down there and just grind stuff out. I'm not saying I don't like people who do $300 music videos or anything like that. But you do that at the beginning to work up. Yes, you're going to lose clients, and clients are going to go somewhere else or whatever else. But if you're not ever expanding, then you're that type of person that's dragging everybody else down on the video side.
Right.
You're that type of person that is stealing clients. You know, I'd rather go to him for $300 because you charge $1,500. Well, if it was all across the board established and you've been shooting for a couple years, why aren't you trying to convince them to do a bigger budget?
Right.
You know why? And some are. You know, I'm not saying it's easy. This isn't easy. I deal with it all the time. I call you all the time like, man, this sucks. Like, This dude doesn't want to spend no money. Like, this sucks. But he wants it. This dude tried to tell me he wanted a 60s kitchen and a full living room scene, and I can't even remember. There was something else, and he had like $2,000. And I was like, dude, he wanted models and extras, and I said, there's no way.
All right,
there's absolutely no way.
It's going to be $2,000.
Yeah. And he's like, well, don't you have the sets? And I was like, no, I don't. And I can't find them in Ohio. There isn't places for them in Ohio. I've looked. I got on the phone right there and looked. So we got to go to LA. Or we got to go to Atlanta and find that set. So you're looking for my Airbnb cost, your Airbnb cost, the artist Airbnb cost, a lighting guy or a camera guy, me. So that's four or five people to stay in an Airbnb for 3 days. The studio rental, paying us for the video. Now we're getting into the models. Now we're getting into the clothing design. Now we're getting into the makeup. Now we're getting into, wow. I mean, that just added up. I mean, I think the $2,000 covered our Airbnb and our studio rental.
Right, and maybe your flights.
And flights.
Yeah, definitely ain't cheap, that's for sure.
So that's where I'm at, you know, and I'll talk on it all day long. I don't hate people for small budgets. I don't disrespect people, and I don't think you're garbage because you have a small budget.
Right.
I think if you've been doing this for years and you haven't gotten out of that, please do your research on what it takes to be successful in this industry, whether it's video or artists or music or anything like that. I mean, just please, because I'm not the only one talking about this.
Right.
And I know you don't want to hear it. You're broke, and I'm not trying to call you broke, but let's take this business seriously, because I take it seriously and you take it seriously. So why can't we be on the same respectful level and respect each other's work?
Right.
You know, you're not gonna walk in and say, you know, Louis Vuitton doesn't know how to design clothes. His clothes
Right.
are too expensive. No, everybody else in the world says they're
And you
good.
definitely ain't asking them for a
Yeah.
discount.
Yeah, I mean, people. I'm not every day shooting $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 music
Right.
videos, but I've done 8,000, 10,000, 15,000, 2,000. Done a lot of 2,000. Done a lot of 3,000. Done a lot of 5,000. I've done them, and people keep paying me for them. So I don't think it's me.
Right.
You know, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, you definitely got to get your budgets down, people. Come on. And I can't think of anything else
I think that's
offhand.
about it.
Definitely thank you for coming in, being
yeah.
on the little show.
Yeah, not a
Definitely
problem,
stoked
man.
to have you on here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. If you haven't subbed yet, definitely drop a subscription.
Man, hit that button.
Drop a like for sure.
Definitely. Appreciate it.
This is NVTV's Basement Sessions, and we'll see you guys next time.
Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win.